With Scrubs seemingly on the verge of a comeback, the medical sitcom is almost sure to be short of a side character who appeared in 49 episodes, as the actor who played him has moved on to a completely different career. Despite the original cast and crew being vocal on the topic of a Scrubs revival, Disney has yet to greenlight the show's return. However, showrunner Bill Lawrence has stated that a deal to make more episodes of Scrubs is so very close to completion. While most of the main cast is likely to return, one of the best side characters will, in all likelihood, be absent from the reunion. He was present in almost all 9 seasons of Scrubs and had a surprisingly complete and artful story that also carried with it a darkly comedic sensibility. His roles outside the show are limited, and they ended suddenly in 2009 when he stepped away from acting altogether. Of all the doctors in Scrubs, his character was probably the least skilled in a traditional manner, but also one of the funniest. Doug Murphy actor Johnny Castle retired from acting in 2009 to become a lawyer. Castle appeared in one more show after he left Scrubs. Johnny Castle debuted as Doug in Scrubs Season 1, Episode 2, My Mentor, and was one of the many side characters to dip in and out of the show throughout most of its run. His transition from one of the worst and most mistake-prone doctors into a naturally talented pathologist completely transformed Castle's character, as Doug found his confidence in one of the least professional ways possible. After leaving Scrubs in 2009, Castle snagged one more role, appearing as Todd Jaracki in 6 of the 13 episodes of The Beast before retiring as an actor and becoming a lawyer instead. Despite his relatively short acting career, Castle's increased profile caused by his time on Scrubs allowed him to make small appearances in other movies and TV shows before 2009. For instance, he appeared as a soldier in both 2003's Hulk and 2005's War of the Worlds. Slightly more prominently, he played Wes Floyd in a 2006 episode of Cold Case and also appeared in a single installment as Eddie Nettles in Veronica Mars in 2007. Bill Lawrence's Scrubs Season 10 plans means there may not be room for Doug anyway. The Scrubs showrunner will likely replace Doug with a newer character. Johnny Castle looking shocked and annoyed as Doug Murphy in Scrubs. Despite the largely negative reception of Scrubs Season 9 altering the show's formula so drastically, Bill Lawrence seems determined to replicate one key aspect of the med school era. In short, the Scrubs showrunner wants to combine members of the original cast with new characters, but this was a big reason why med school flopped so badly. Quality of the idea aside, Lawrence's plan sounds as though Scrubs Season 10 could turn into a pretty crowded affair, so bringing back a relatively minor character like Doug will likely not be a priority. That being said, a cameo from Johnny Castle in the What's More Important is that more prominent characters, like Zach Braff's John J.D. Dorian, are given the screen time they need to make Scrubs' comeback worthwhile. Then, the newer characters will need to be accurate representations of what it means to be a doctor in the modern day. Doug was a great Scrubs character, but he would pretty much be surplus to requirements if Lawrence's Scrubs Season 10 plan became reality. That being said, a cameo from Johnny Castle in the show's revival would still be welcome, if the actor is willing to briefly come out of retirement. Scrubs has already proven it can work without Castle's presence. The final run of Scrubs' main era barely featured Doug. Johnny Castle as Doug Murphy eating a sandwich as Scrubs. Doug appeared far less in Scrubs Season 8, featuring in just one minor storyline in the My Soul on Fire two-parter. So, although he did star in every season of the show's most successful era, Castle never returned for Scrubs Season 9, the run which was softly rebranded as Scrubs Med School. It would be nice to discover that Doug was still the pathologist at the new Sacred Heart Hospital, but Scrubs Season 9 never confirms or denies this, although Med School isn't the best example of how a Doug-less version of the show can thrive. Because it didn't, it would be disingenuous to blame the sitcom's final season on Castle's absence. However, Doug's scarcity in Scrubs Season 8 proves the sitcom's true swan song worked without him before it was reworked ahead of the 9th and final season. So, while it would have been nice to have Castle come back for Scrubs Season 10, his new role as a lawyer probably preventing that shouldn't create too much cause for concern.